Y'all, I got two words for you. Wagyu brisket. That's right, y'all. We're going all out for the new Ninja FlexFlame Grill. We're doing a Wagyu brisket on there today. Now, guys, I don't usually do Wagyu briskets, but there was a little bit of a deal at the Costco I go to, so I grabbed one of those. It's a little over 10 pounds. Obviously, if you can splurge, do it, but this will work on choice, prime, whatever other brisket you have, okay? Same parameters, same setup, okay? So basically what I did with this brisket is, took it out of the cryo vac, dried it off, checked it out. You want to give your brisket a good look, right? You want to make sure that you have a kind of a plan set for trimming your brisket. Now for me, I have a problem with paralysis by analysis when it comes to trimming briskets. I'll sit there and I could just trim all day long. But basically, for a nice backyard cook trim, this is what you're gonna do. You wanna get most of the fat off of that point, which is the bigger of the two muscles. So this is a full-on packer brisket, so it has a point and it has a flat, and they join together with a seam of fat in between them. The flat is the more lean part, not as much fat running through it. Point has a lot more fat running through it, more intermuscular fat. Now with a Wagyu brisket like this, there's intermuscular fat all the way through it, but for most briskets it's not as much fat, right? What I like to do is clear off a lot of fat off that point because there's so much fat running through it, and then on that flat I leave about 1/4 of an inch or so of fat on the top of that, and then trim off all the way around. When you pull the briskets out of the cryovac, sometimes you'll see some oxidation going on the sides. You just want to trim all that off, right? All the scraggly bits. You turn it over, there's the hard fat called the decal fat. You want to dig out as much of that as possible. Basically, with your trim, you want to make it as aerodynamic and as clean shapen as possible. It's tough to really describe every little bit of it, but you really want to, make it so the air flows over the top. It's nice and even. So if there's like a little mohawk part on there, you want to shave that off because all it's going to do is just burn. Now on this particular brisket, the flat, there is a really flat part on there, really too thin. So I'm going to trim that whole thing off. And when I'm done with trimming this thing, you'll see that I have a lot of trimmings, right? Probably about 2 or 3 pounds worth of trimmings that I have stacked up. So with those trimmings, we're going to actually get them on the grill. When we're smoking the brisket, we're going to smoke and render out the fat of those trimmings. That's going to give us some nice tallow, some beef tallow. And we got Wagyu beef tallow, it's even better. Cook with it, you use it on your brisket cooks. Like I'm going to pour a little bit over the top while it's resting. After I got it all nice and trimmed up, you can see I'll flip it both ways so you can see how it looks. And then took some of this Lucky Shake by Uncle Steve Shake and sprinkle it all over, right? Just went nuts with it. Up one, down the other side. Make sure you get the sides of the brisket too, okay? Cover this thing in the seasoning. Basically, we're gonna put this on a rack over like a cookie sheet. We'll put it in the fridge overnight. So with all that salt in this rub, it'll pull out some of that moisture, but suck in all that flavor. So it's basically called a dry brine, which is to me an oxymoron. But you're just seasoning it and let it sit overnight in the open air of your refrigerator. I do it on as much of my proteins as possible before I get them on the smoker or the grill. All right, that brings us to today. I got my twin temp spike pluses in there because I want to make sure we keep accurate temps on this cook the whole way through. And the twin temp spike plus has a great app for you to, program what you want and track the temperatures all the way through. It'll let you know when it's done, when it's time to wrap, all that stuff. So if you guys want to get one of those twin temp spike pluses, links down below. You use my code, it'll save you a little bit of cash. For this cook, we're going to use the low and slow setting on the FlexFlame, and we're going to set it to 275 Fahrenheit, and I'll put the Celsius somewhere on here for you. And we're going to use those Smokin Pecan pellets. Going to give it 2 cycles of pellets. Okay, so after the first hour or so of burning through those Smokin Pecan pellets, we'll add another hopper full, which is about a cup or so, 2 cups, and we'll burn through those. So we're gonna give this a pretty healthy amount of smoke, take them to about 170-ish internal, and then wrap them in some tin foil and a little bit of beef stock. Take them over the top to about 205, 210 to where it's probe tender, and we're gonna pull them out and let them rest. You got to let your brisket rest at least an hour, if not more. I usually just put a couple towels over the top and put it to the side and let it do its thing. But you guys want to make sure you let that brisket rest. All right, nothing left to do, but let's get this thing fired up. I'm going to take you outside and get it going. All right, guys. We got a lot more FlexFlame videos coming your way. If you want to see my initial review, link up there, check it out. All right, guys, I will meet you outside. Let's get this thing fired up. Get that propane on. Got our Smokin Pecan pellets in there, and we're gonna do 2 cycles of pellets on this. Turn this to the low and slow setting. We're gonna go 275. That wood fire flavor going. Shut the lid, of course. See, it's going through the ignition process right there. Pretty soon we'll see some smoke rolling. All right, y'all, smoke is rolling. Almost done through the ignition process. About to get this bad boy on. Got the trimmings from the brisket. We're gonna put that on too and render it out, get some tallow. And look at that bad boy one more time. We're up to temp. Smoke is rolling. Let's go ahead and get this all on. Look at all that Smokin Pecan smoke. So we got a little beef stock in a pan that we're gonna put underneath the brisket. Catch those drip-ins, right? And we have our fold-out grate right here. Okay, this is an upgrade. I'll try to find a link and put it down below. But I like to raise the meat off of the grill grates here, because even though there's burners underneath, right? It's still gonna heat, like we're using the middle burner, right? But it's still gonna heat up the grill grate. It's, conduction heat on these metal grill grates. For me, it's better to raise up the proteins when we're doing low and slow. Setup, got the little drippings catch with the beef stock. Got our trim that we're gonna make some Wagyu tallow. Smoke is rolling in there. Got our twin temp spike plus in, so we can track this thing all good. All right, nothing left to do but shut it down and give it a good old smoke. All right, team, we're an hour in. That brisket is looking lovely right now. You can hear the tallow being rendered. I'm going to check out the hopper. All right, we're gonna add more pellets to the hopper. Get it smoking again. We're looking good, y'all. We got more pellets in. You don't have to do anything since it's already smoldering underneath. It's just obviously picking up that smoke again and get those pellets going. All right, before we start the next hour of smoke, I turn the brisket around so that we got the point going towards the heat and the convection, going over the brisket, with our cyclonic heat IQ. It's going over the brisket. That's why we got the fat cap facing up, because the heat's coming down from the top. We're protecting that meat. There's plenty of marbling and fat through the point, but the flat we want to protect. And that's also why we have the beef stock underneath it to protect it, keep it moisture coming up. So we're doing good things right now. That smoke is definitely rolling, y'all. We're about an hour and a half in. As you can see, we got a little bit of pooling right here. The fat's rendering out, and I don't want that. I want to build that bark. So I'm gonna use the old Harry Sue trick and put a piece of wood underneath it to prop it up, and hopefully that gets rid of the pooling there. So we're just gonna dump that little bit off the top right there into our little grease catch thing. All right, there we go. It's propped up. You can see it'll drain off now. I'll move this a little bit. There we go. All right, looking good. Just keep the course. Keep staying the course. You know what I mean. We are 3 hours in. We're tipping over 170 in both those probes. So let's go ahead and get this off. We got some tinfoil over here and a little bit more of that beef stock, and we'll wrap it up. All right, while I was wrapping this bad boy, I forgot to turn the microphone on. So I'm gonna overlay what I did, took the brisket off. We had a little bit of a dried spot on the edge of the flat right here. That should relax and break down a little bit more in the wrap. Got a little of the beef stock in there too, kind of rehydrated that bark a little bit. Now we're just gonna get those temp spikes back in and get it back on the grill. So we'll come in on the flat right here and get it in that point. All right, brisket back on. And we're gonna take this to the 205, 210 range, but we're also gonna test for probe tenderness using one of my instant read thermometers. If it's still tight in there, we're just gonna let it keep cooking, okay? You can't always go by just the temperatures in the probes. You guys wanna make sure it's nice and tender. And you can see all this tallow that we've rendered out, right? So we'll strain that and hold on to that for another cook. What's left in there probably could get tossed. Not too worried about it. We're gonna make a little bit more jus in there, or jus, as that's cooking. We're doing good. 3 hours in, it's looking great. I'll have all the steps and the recipe on my website, so it'll be down in the description if you guys want to click on that, okay? But nothing left to do. Let this cook a little bit longer, okay? I'm thinking this will be about a 6 or 7 hour cook with like an hour rest. We'll see, okay? Stick around. All right, guys, we're coming up on 5 hours here. We're temping over 200. It's going in like butter. Like butter, baby. That's a little tight right there, but it'll relax a little bit when we're resting. 205, 206, right? Oh yeah, bud. Just like butter. We got all our rendered tallow right there. We got a little silver pan to put that in. We're gonna let it rest at least an hour. Tallow has been rendered and strained and in containers. Just something you can do with those trainers. Okay, team, we got our brisket on the board. Let's take a look. There you go. That's as juicy as can be. Looking pretty dang good to me. Just chop into the whole deal. Any piece of meat you want to go against the grain. Guys, you know it's Wagyu, and even the lean is just that juicy and glistening. For those looking for the bend test, there you go. Get that point cut in half. Guys, just look at all that intermuscular fat. So dang good. Cut a little bit bigger slices. Guys, that is glistening right there. Whew. Get me a bite. All right, y'all, I got me a little piece to try here. This is the point. This is just a little bite of it. The point's my favorite part of the brisket, so. Guys, the flavors, insane. If you can get a hold of a Wagyu brisket, give it a try. But the way I set this up is how you do any brisket, okay? Just remember, we're cooking the temperatures, we're cooking the probe tenderness. All right, so use those for whatever brisket you got. This thing was a 10-pound brisket, but with that FlexFlame, you can put probably a 20-pounder on there if you want. There's plenty of room for it. I do suggest you get that fold-out shelf that sits on top right there, because like I said before, I don't like putting the proteins on the grill grates when I'm doing the low and slow. I like to raise them up a little bit, so I would do that. Guys, if you want to get anything I use in my videos, from the knives, the cutting boards, merch, the actual FlexFlame Grill, there'll be affiliate links down below. Make sure you check them out. If you'd like to become a show producer, like all the awesome people scrolling in front of me right now, people that would love to have some Wagyu brisket in their life right about now, there are two ways to join up. Either you hit that Patreon link in my video description, or you hit that join button right next to the subscribe button, which you should have already hit by now. But other than that, guys, we're done. Listen, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for cooking with CJ. Take care.